Ladies and gents, before we start the video, I want to remind everybody, Content Creator Program is going on. That's right. You have a chance to get yourself some free codes, guys, by simply hitting this support button. It is linked in every single comment section of every single video and in every single description of all SLA videos. Guys, join the program. I send you guys codes. You don't have to pay a thing for it, and it is free and it supports me. Plus, I get to support you as a community. Don't forget, if you are a supporter and you want to get your code, you have to log in, go to the subscriber or the subscription section, and then go down to coupon history, and that's where you'll find it. You have to copy and paste it into the game in order to achieve getting your code. It will not be sent to you by mail. Now, with that being said, speaking of codes, this is an easy one. It's not even a code. As a matter of fact, it's just quick login and you get this free 500 Essence Stones. I know a lot of you guys are watching this video for that. So let's get to it. Message from event notice. So if you go to the event section, I'll link this to the chat or I'll link it also into the description. All you got to do is scroll down to this section here. You'll see a little thing that says player's HP has reached 0. Will you contact another entity? Just go down and log in and you'll be able to get yourself this possess the black heart. If you click it and submit, everybody gets it. All participating hunters who do this will get themselves 500 Essence Stones to use. Now, with that being said, let's get on with the video and talk about breakers and the library. And if you want to check out the full live stream, you go check out the full live stream of me completing the library as free to play, so you can get all the crazy rewards that come along with it. But I want to talk about this because this was a hell of a run and a lot of prep, and I want to give you guys the best advice I can and some mistakes I made along the way that you can learn from. All right, let's get into the video. All right, folks. Now, this is a prime example of be careful what you wish for. Now, everybody knows we've all kind of complained at the fact that there have been no place for breakers in the game any longer. So I guess Netmarble heard our complaints and decided to make breakers mandatory yet again in this game. And we are, in fact, looking at the Overseer's library on hard mode. That's right. Pretty much any mode you play, breakers are going to be a necessity and something you're gonna need to bring to the fold, guys, in order to make this work. Now, the way the library works, if you've never done it before, I did it on hard mode. You're gonna need 18 to 20 different units, all at 910k power in order to even try this, okay? And you're given 2 free demo characters. If you don't have either character, you can use the cheap versions of theirs, which give you enough power, but trust me, they suck. Or you can use yours. For example, my Liu at A5, and I don't have Agnes, so I have an A0 Agnes, so they gave me the demo version. So I went ahead and set this up. Now, for this run specifically, guys, you're going to need minimum all of the overload units, so all the stackers. You're going to need at least 6 breakers. That's right, minimum 6 breakers. Now, the way this works, it's using 3 different elements. So only those elements are allowed to enter. So if you have light, dark, and fire, those units will work. So you have to have enough breakers and those elements to make it work. Now for wind and water, take all of their gear off and re-gear all of your fire, light, and dark units in order to get them ready to do this mode. Now the reason why you want to do this mode, number 1, is an insane amount of coins for the shop, of course, and more importantly, you get a ton of Essence Stones through this. Now, again, you want to bring minimum of 6 breakers, and you want to bring all your overloaders and your top DPS plus some supports. Right now, the buffs in this, I believe, supports will give you 100% extra stats. Breakers are required, and overloaders obviously provide overload, etc. Right? So the way this works is, for me, for example, I don't have Agnes in my team, so Agnes is going to be the weakest link in my team as a DPS. So you want to use her right away, or whoever you don't have right away in the first 2 stages, because they're the easiest stages to do, and then don't recover her. At this point, all you want to do is want to make sure that every single stage you have at least a support, a breaker, and a DPS, or an overload, a breaker, and a DPS. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. Now, this run took me quite some time to prep, so if you want to go check out the whole video, you're more than welcome to. I had to build quite a different expansive team, and I'll show you guys who I built and how I did the run. You guys can see right over here, right about in this section. Hold on, right there. We did the hard mode right there. So 9 days, 9 hours. We went ahead and entered story mode. And right here, you guys can see you go all the way to the end. It requires 910, 470k, right? And you guys can see right here, I added Harper and my team is now set. I've got exactly 20 units here. Now, you don't have to have 20 units. If you have good 18 units, use the good 18 units, because that way you don't have to get a random bad one that comes in. But I use 20 just in case. And you can see here all of my breakers. So I have Christopher Reed, Igris. I have Who else do I have? I have Antoine as my main three stackers. And then for my breakers, I have Stark, Harper. I have, I believe, Gun He. I have, who else did I have here? Kihun. I have Essel. I have Yuki, right? So those are my breakers. So, right, you guys can see them all right there. I'm kind of going to go through it. And then for my DPS, I have a couple different fire DPS like Fern. I have Liu, of course, on there. Thomas for light, Cha for lights, I have Sung Il Hwan for dark, and I have, I believe, Mini for dark as well too, okay? So the way this is going to work out, guys, is you want to make sure you always bring in the first fight, your weakest. So in this case, my weakest was going to be Agnes, and you want to make sure you bring a breaker. So you guys can see, I brought it, this is going to be a question a lot of you may ask, is why the hell do you have Antoine with Agnes? Well, in the library, an overloader overloads all of the elements, not just the element that it's made for. So you guys can see they have these like little rainbows. What that means is all of the buffs here for overload and stuff will activate dark, fire, and light. So very important to remember that, okay? So first fight, you want to use Agnes, get rid of her right away, and just try to complete it, right? And when you complete this fight here with Agnes, it's going to make it super easy because you'll only have one more slot for her left, and you want to use her on the next fight just to finish it as quick as you possibly can. And the reason why I say this, even though she has a lot of power on paper, when it comes down to actual usage in the game, she absolutely sucks unless you own her. If you own her, your Agnes will destroy. But in this case, I only own an A0, so the PC's version is stronger than mine by TP, so I'm forced to use the TP version, okay? You guys can see I complete it there, you move on, and you do the next fight. So every single fight, guys, essentially, you want to do the same thing. You want to keep using all the shittier units, make sure you use them, and then you move on to that. Now, the place that matters the most for here is for breakers. Breakers are an essential part. No, you will not be able to break with your remnant, so don't bother using it. You do need a breaker for every fight almost, or at least for almost every second fight, especially for the tankier bosses. So you can see here I have Essel, I have Igris, and you can see here when I activated Overload, you see all of them activated there. Now, I'm not going to go through every fight because this was a long video. I highly recommend if you're interested in watching the entire fight and watching everything else that's going on here, go check out the live stream. I'll put a link for it in the description as well. You guys can see the entire struggle and fight. Now, a couple things that I made a mistake on that you guys don't want to do. Very important to know this, okay? So number one, make sure everyone is equipped with the proper gear. Some of my units at like the end stages, like for example, Cha didn't have the proper gear on. She had the old school gear on and not the new poison gear. So, and once you have gear on a unit and you enter, that's it. You can't equip anything, okay? So that's very important to remember. And the reason why we say that is because if you want to redo the whole stage, you have to start right from the beginning. There's no continuation point. So you'll have to go right from scratch again. So very, very important, guys. Make sure you have the right gear on. Number two, skills. That's right. I had 0 skills on my Fern. I had 1 skill for everything because I reset her recently for more, in order to do WOBL, and I forgot to redo her all of her skills. Even midway through the battles, if you want to go ahead and level up all of your skills for your characters, it doesn't matter. It will not work. All your skills are going to be what they were when you entered here. So do not make that mistake, guys. Very important to make sure all your cores, all your gear, all your skills, everything is done beforehand. Don't slack on this. It's worth it. It really is, right? So once you've completed this entire thing, I'll try to just go to the end. Again, you guys can watch this. It gives you a ton of essence stones and gives you a ton of coins. Now, the toughest stage here that I had a fight with was because, again, my Cha and my Stark are all level 1 gear, by the way. It all like has nothing on. All the skills are level 1 as well. This was the toughest fight. So this one here required a DPS crunch and required me to use all of my skills in order to break and to do overload and then kill with Cha. And again, Cha here wasn't equipped with the right stuff, so it made it longer than it needed to be, and she's very squishy, right? So make sure, guys, when you are leaving yourself the last 3 stages, you leave yourself at least 1 or 2 DPS because you can refresh one on stage 11, which is nice, or stage 12, which is nice. So you can at least have 1 good DPS around in order to get this completed. Okay, so this one took quite some time and we finally got the job done. And then, of course, with Liu being the last unit I had left, he absolutely dominated the last stage and destroy this whole thing. Again, I don't want to put on the entire fight for you guys because it does take quite some time. So a couple of takeaways here: 6 breakers, 3 overloaders, the rest DPS, and a couple supports. And make sure that you try to bring at least 18. You have to bring a minimum 18, but try to bring 20 if you want. But if you have a strong 18, leave it at that. That way you don't have a random anomaly there to do it. And of course, one of the main things to remember with this is that the whole purpose of completing this, of course, is the fact that the Overseer library gives you a good amount of Essence Stones, plus gives you guys coins in order to get tickets for Myro or the successor that's coming up very soon. So super, super cool things to get. One of the best shops in the game, and this is one of the only ways to get a good amount of it through this mode. Okay, so it's worth it, guys. It's absolutely worth doing this. It's absolutely worth putting the effort and getting yourself all of this completed, because again, at the end of the day, you are rewarded with All right, guys, and here it is. This is what I was talking about, right? You guys can see the 3,375. And again, I already got a couple there originally. And then, of course, you can see the advanced mana crystals. And then, of course, the shops here for the coins for the shop. So this is very, very important, guys. This is amazing, amazing rewards. And it's absolutely worth doing. So make sure, guys, for Essence Stones, I know we're all starving for Essence Stones for the next characters. Make sure you jump into that event. Just sign in, quickly click that, and then of course go do your library and complete it. Use those tips that I just gave you. And again, please go check out this full video if you want to go see the entire runs so you guys can see the mistakes I made. But again, go in with the right gear, go in with the right skill levels, go in with the right cores, go in with the right weapons. Once you get in there, you cannot reset unless you want to restart the whole thing. And trust me, you don't want to restart the whole thing. It's an annoyance and a nuisance. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.